Hello there. So while Israeli forces target Iran's nuclear weapons plants and military infrastructure, the Iranian regime responds by hitting Israeli cities, Israeli population centers. After a brief reprieve, things are now hotting up for the Israelis as Iranian regime missiles slam unashamedly into their population centers of Haifa, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Beersheba, and Eilat. But if the Iranians are targeting cities, that leaves the IDF free to respond. Is this the last gasp of the Iranian regime? Or have they either got more munitions than thought, or have maybe been resupplied by a third party such as China or Russia? But this does look like a huge gamble by Tehran. Trump may be waiting for up to 2 weeks to make a decision on whether he helps Israel in the hope that diplomacy works. But if this is the Ayatollah's immediate response, then Trump might just take the view that he needs to get on with destroying the Iranian regime's dreams of becoming a nuclear weapon state. But Trump will also have to factor in how to stop Iran shutting down the Straits of Hormuz, which is described as the world's most important oil transit choke point. About a quarter of the world's oil is transported through that strait. Already, shipping is being warned to steer well clear of Iranian waters. Is this the reason Ed Miliband is belatedly trying to get the North Sea oil and gas wells up and running again? Bit late for that, Ed. We're set to see big rises in fuel costs if Trump goes ahead and attacks Iran and the Iranian regime blocks those straits. So what do you think about all of this then, Richard?
Yes, there's some nasty footage coming in of attacks taking place. I'm just looking at the Times of Israel for second day in a row. Iran missile hits Beersheba, damaging buildings, wounded 7. Looking at the Jerusalem Post, at least 19 injured, 3 seriously, arrive at Haifa hospital after Iranian missile strikes. This is going to be this is going to continue, I'm afraid to say. I can see there being a lot more attacks coming up on Israel from Iran. And I can imagine that there will be attacks coming also from the proxies. You're going to start seeing the Houthis starting to build up momentum as well, probably. And the same from Hezbollah, although they have kept their head down quite a bit recently, Hezbollah, since they lost sort of certain parts of their anatomies thanks to phones going off in their pockets, or pages rather. But I do think that this is a very, very strange time for people commentating on this, because at the same time, we also have to remember that there are terrible things taking place. Look, war is war. It's not pretty. It's not pleasant. We have to remember that we've also got what's going on with Iran. Iran is being hit, and I'm sure there won't be just military targets hit. There will be some civilians, casualties, and I hate the term collateral damage. These are human beings. We must always remember this. But at the same time, don't forget, Iranians are right now celebrating and protesting with Israelis down in London. That's what's happening. There's a lot of Iranians who are supportive and supporting what's going on in with the attacks by Israel upon Iran, not against Iran, against the Iranian regime. And we must never forget as well that we have. Yeah, sorry, this footage is quite haunting. This footage is showing now. Just the air raid sirens, terrifying things to hear. Thank God we haven't heard those sounds in a very long time, in this country. Yeah, very long time. But yeah, I just think we should remember that in Gaza, people die as well. And the thing is, yes, the missiles are probably, that comes from the Israeli forces a lot of the time. But you have to realize as well, who's to blame for that? Who has set this up? Who has set this up? Iran has set the whole situation up by fighting proxy wars, firing from civilian centers where they know that retaliation is going to cause massive civilian deaths. And they use that. That's their collateral. I keep saying that's their collateral. That's the currency of Iran and of Hamas. Yeah. Over to you, Jeff.
Yes, it's it's getting a bit difficult out there. The main thing is that there doesn't seem to be a political solution to this at all. We've got the European side going, oh, we must have a diplomatic solution. So Trump says we're going to have we'll try for a diplomatic solution, give it a couple of weeks, and straight away the missiles start coming through from Iran, and I don't see any let up in Israel trying to destroy the military and nuclear weapon structure of the Iranian regime. They're just it's intractable here. I think that Trump may well be looking at this and going that he really has no choice. He's what he set out. He said he's not going to let the Ayatollahs have their nuclear weapons. He's not going to do it. And the Ayatollahs are saying it's up to us whether we have them or not. It's nothing to do with you. Keep away. And I don't know. This is all coming to a head. It came to a head in London this morning, didn't it?
Yes.
With violence on the streets of London again. So I believe that was pro-Israel and previous regime Iranians getting together.
Yeah.
And they were assaulted by people.
We don't know who. Yes, I mean,
were arrested.
The Mail did initially... the Mail did initially report, though, the Daily Mail, that it was pro-Palestinians who were arrested, were attacked. But that seems to have changed to being pro-Israeli and pro-Iranian, previous Iranian regime. I can't even say previous Iranian regime, just people wanting freedom in Iran. That's what people want. Yeah, the country still remains under siege. That's, you have to remember. It's an occupied area.
Yeah, I think it's only going one way at the moment, and that's down the avenue of more violence. And I cannot see how it will ever change in Iran unless they get rid of that horrible regime. I really can't. You can't trust them. I mean, everybody, Biden tried his best, or I don't know if he tried his best, but he set up this whole peace thing, didn't he? And let them get on and start running those centrifuges again until the International Atomic Energy Authority came along and said that they're going well above what they need in purity of uranium for commercial use, for civil use. There's only one way that was going, and we were letting it happen. It was happening under our noses.
Konstantin Kissin actually said something the other day. I watched on one of his podcasts. I think it was, I can't remember who it was with. It was with Piers Morgan, and it was something which we all need to be reminded of, is that the Iranian regime, they used children to clear minefields. That's what they did. If they weren't able to fight, then they had another purpose, and that was just to walk through the minefields. Absolutely horrific. I mean, don't get me wrong, Saddam Hussein did exactly the same thing. There's
quite a big difference between the Iraq situation and the Iranian situation today.
Oh yeah.
Because Tony Blair, did he not stand up in the House of Commons and say that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, had them, and he could attack London in 40 minutes? That was the claim, was it not?
Yeah.
I think it was. Someone ought to Google that and check me out. But I think he said that that it existed, and we could be hit within a certain number of minutes. So we had to go in now.
Yes.
In this case, in Iran's case, we know they have, we suspect they haven't got weapons of mass destruction yet. And that's the issue, stopping them getting them in the first place. There's completely different things. Completely different.
Well, there was no weapons of mass destruction. There's been no evidence of it whatsoever in Iraq. However, you've got an Iranian regime quite clearly trying to build nuclear weapons and, even threatening to use some members of the military threatening to use nuclear options. And I mean, very, very different situation, as you said there, Jeff. Unfortunately, you're going to get a lot of people. These missiles are raining down now onto Israel and onto the cities there, and horrific situation. All the wars that are taking place right now in this world are bloody horrific. I'm sorry, we're seeing in the Middle East in particular, it seems to be concentrated. You know, we've got Iran, Israel. We've also got what's taking place with Gaza as well, which again is horrific. All of it is horrific. I don't know what the end is. I don't know what the answer is. Sorry, I know what the end is, but I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if we humans can come up with an answer, to be honest with you, Jeff.
Yeah. Cyrax Trollson says, King David Hotel, that was Jewish terrorists killing British colonialists, I believe. Yes, that happened. Was it just after the end of the Second World War? Now, it's quite strange, this, but we have forgiven the Germans for what they did in the Second World War, and the Italians. We even joined a big bloc called the European Union with them for a while. We were quite happy. We forgave them. We forgave the Argentinians for invading us, for invading the Falklands. We forgave the Japanese for what they did in the Second World War. The only people that no one will ever forgive are the Jews, ever. And that's something we should all be looking at ourselves about. All those people out there pointing, I was in the Falklands War, and it turns out that the Israelis weren't on our side. They weren't supportive of us at all. Just like the French weren't, if you get my drift. But I've forgiven them for that. But people out there keep pointing at these things that they've done in the past. Oh, they must be vile today. If that's the case, then you have to treat the Germans, the Japanese, the Italians, and the Argentinians in exactly the same way.
And the English.
Sorry.
So I'm
broke my train of thought there.
Yeah. I'm quite English myself. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, Jeff. Well, I think we've covered that, to be honest with you, but it's just a horrific situation taking place in Israel and across the Middle East, and we can only just hope that something positive eventually comes at the end of this, and that, I mean, when I say positive, for me, that would be the freedom of the people of Iran. That's what would be a positive outcome, like a silver lining in the cloud. That's the only thing we could hope for. And at some point, yes,
well,
and also the other thing as well, though, is also if the regime is toppled, this will mean peace as well for Gaza, because Hamas will no longer get their funding. This
correct.
If the Iranian regime
and
falls,
Syria, and the Lebanon.
Well, yeah. All these places where Iran is,
where would the Houthis get their weapons from without Iran?
Exactly.
In Yemen.
Yeah.
No, that regime is foul. It's got to go.
Yeah.
They're not doing us any good at all. I don't care what anybody says. Yes. Anyway.
Yeah.
So on that note, I think we've done enough here. And,
yes. If you could all please just like this video, subscribe to the channel and click the all option when subscribing. And if you like what we do, then please become a member for the price of a pint of beer. You know, you can become a member, you get extra content, but you can only sign up for some reason on desktops and on laptops. Sorry to repeat myself continuously.
Yeah.
And and God bless you all.
Yeah. And on that note, it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from him. Goodbye.
Goodbye.